welcome back to Rod Reacts, where I react everything of India. Anything you want me to react to India, comment down below. This video we're about to react to is titled, What If India Never Was a Colony? And this was recommended to me by one of my subscribers, so here we are. We're going to learn, what if India never was a colony? I don't know. Would it be more powerful? Probably, but let's check out the video. Let's see what they got to say. Let's see if we agree. Let's see if we can add to it. Let's do this. You ready to react? Let's do it now.
Hello, I am the European, and I make videos that matter to you. Please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel.
I'm there, brother.
Now, let's talk India.
Let's talk
Look,
India.
This is India, an amazing country with a huge, young, and dynamic population.
Yes.
India is located at the crossroads of the most important trade routes of the entire planet. It has some of the most strategically located seaports in the world.
Sounds very important to me. Sounds very important to me, oh India.
And its soil contains all kinds of natural resources, like oil, natural gas, gold, and uranium. Wow, India must be one of the richest countries in the world. Well, that is strange, because in reality, Indian people tend to have a relatively low income compared to most Western countries.
It has everything to do with history, the past history, history that holds you down, people invading your country, wanting what you have, that type of stuff, being a colony of somebody. I see where this guy's going, and it's all true.
How is that possible? India is blessed with a young workforce of 1 billion people, a perfect strategic location, and rich natural resources.
What's going on?
Why aren't Indian people the richest people in the world? This may sound like a difficult question, but the answer is really simple. You see, Indian people are not the richest people in the world because India has been robbed and looted by invaders for over 1,000 years.
Well over 1,000 years, and it's insane, it's crazy, but India is a rising power.
Most recently by the British East India Company and the British Crown. The British looted India from 1757 until 1947. So for almost 2 centuries. And after 2 centuries of looting, the British left India. And India became independent, depleted from its natural resources. Its economy destroyed. Its public health in a sorry state. And its administration in chaos.
Hey, Britain, time to pay back India. Come on, British. You know, British didn't only do that to India, it did it to countries around the world. Damn you, Brits.
The moment of its independence, India inherited a huge backlog to the rest of the world. But imagine that the British East India Company never decided to set foot on Indian soil. Imagine India never was a British colony. How would that have affected India?
What mega power
would that have had to the Indian economy?
Mega power.
What kind of economy would India have today?
Massive.
It wasn't looted by the British for almost 2 centuries. To find out, we have to look back at the state that India was in 1750. Right before the British East India Company invaded India.
I have a feeling it's going to be like the top dog of them all, you know what I'm saying? The economy is up here, above everybody else. I have a sneaky suspicion. Let's learn.
Was India a poor country back then? No, it was not. In fact, in 1750, India was one of the wealthiest countries on the planet. In this graph, you can see the relative size of the major economies of the world throughout history. The graph represents the past 2,000 years, and India is represented by the orange color. It shows that India was the largest economy in the whole world for about 15 centuries.
Wow.
From the beginning of the 1st century until about 1500. Then China took over as the largest economy in the world. But India's...
Damn you, China! Damn you! I'm definitely on India's side when it comes India-China. I'm on India's side. That's 100% sure, without a shadow of a doubt. What China's doing today in today's world is very, very bad. They're trying to take over people's lands, kind of like in the Philippines, the South China Sea, as they call it. They're taking over Philippine Islands. Damn you, China.
Economy kept about the same size as China. So looking at this from a historic point of view, India has been the most dominant economy in the world for most of the time. So in 1750, when the British East India Company set foot in India, India was the second largest economy in the world. Its share in the world economy was almost 25%. India was rich in resources, and India was the world leader in agriculture, textile manufacturing, and shipbuilding. But all of that changed after the British invasion. And this graph clearly shows that. In 1900, after 1.5 centuries of British rule, India's economy was totally destroyed, and its share of the world economy had plummeted from 25% to only 2%. The health of the Indian people was also destroyed. During the British rule, the life expectancy of the average Indian man and woman dropped by about 10 years.
10 years, a whole decade, you're gonna live less. That is crazy. And I don't really know anything about the British Indian Company. I haven't got to any videos where I've learned about that. So if you have any to recommend me some of those so I can learn more. But it's a shame, you know. It's saddening, and it's kind of ironic, you know. You've decreased life by 10 years, but here in present day, a lot of the doctors, even in the United States, are from India. You know, we get a lot of our doctors from India.
We cannot blame today's British people for that, but we should also not ignore that all of this happened, and especially we should not romanticize the image of colonization as if
Absolutely
Britain's
right.
invasion of India was somehow helpful to India.
Not at all.
It was not. Unfortunately, some people indeed say that British colonization of India was some sort of blessing.
No.
They say the British developed India. The
No.
British brought their governance and their engineering to India. Which
I don't care what country colonizes where, it's always a bad thing because you're stepping on people's feet. You're taking people's livelihood and you're turning them upside down. Everything they know, you're trying to change them in a greedy way. You're trying to change them to you, what you want. No, let the people be. Let the people grow. Let the people expand. You know, India had its own culture then. It had its own thing going. And obviously by this graph and these stats, they were doing really well. And then the greedy British stepped in and stepped on some toes and tried to change some things. And the rest is history. It put India back, I don't know how many decades, but decades. India's coming back now, though. India's becoming a superpower. Already is. And their economy is going to be probably the biggest economy in the world in another decade or two. It just is what it is.
which gave India benefits like railroads and modern buildings. Well, let me tell you what that is. That is total nonsense. It's complete rubbish. You think the British East India Company built railroads in India to help the Indian people? Of course not.
No.
The British East India Company, they built railroads in India so that they could steal the Indian treasures and resources.
It's a shame.
Put them on trains and bring them to the Indian seaports. From there on, India's valuable resources were brought to Britain or sold to the rest of the world. Of course, the British didn't want to be seen as ordinary thieves, so they first collected taxes.
But they are. They're not ordinary thieves. They're smart thieves, but the British are thieves. They went around all around the world back in the day, looting, pillaging, and trying to take over land. Shame on you, England. Shame on you.
from the Indian people. And from the tax money the British stole from the Indian people, they bought spices, tea and silk from the Indian people. The British used the same principle to steal coal, iron and timber from India, which the British needed to facilitate the Industrial Revolution back in Britain. Yes,
So basically, if they wouldn't looted India, maybe it's vice versa. You know, the British, they're really hurting right now, and they're trying to build their economy. And India, they're definitely on top. They're definitely on top. They were on top back in the day for hundreds of years, centuries. They would be on top today. There's no doubt about it.
Indeed. Britain's Industrial Revolution was powered by resources from India. So no, Britain did not develop India.
India built Britain.
India developed Britain.
Yes.
Then, is it possible to put a price tag on all the damage that Britain did to India? Well, Columbia University in New York tried just that. Columbia University estimates that over the entire period of 2 centuries of British rule in India, Britain has taken 45 trillion US dollars worth of assets and resources from India.
$45 trillion. I can't even imagine how much money that is. How many $100 bills stacked to the moon? Like, that's just insane. You could never pay a debt like that back, ever. It would be impossible. Impossible.
I did not say 45 million. I did not say 45 billion.
Trillion.
I said 45 trillion US dollars.
That's a lot.
That is $45,000 billion. Some people think that Britain should repay the damage that was done to India.
Impossible.
That is an interesting idea. However, it seems impossible.
Yeah.
The damage is just too big. Even if we would ask every British man and woman to pay 10% of their income every year to India, even then, it would take 150 years for Britain to repay India.
But think about that. 150 years. 150 years for every British citizen paying 10% of their income, and maybe, just maybe, it would be paid back. But that doesn't count for all the decades and, you know, the century that they put India back. Even though India's climbing, they're one of the fastest growing economies now. They have technology. They're on pace to have the most people probably on Earth for one country. You still can't pay all that back. Even if you pay all the money back, you still didn't pay it all back.
Let's return to the initial question that I asked at the beginning of this video. What if India never was a colony? What
They'd be on top.
if Britain never looted India? Then what would be the consequences for India's economy today? I think the conclusion is obvious, given the fact that India's economy already had been the largest economy in the world for about 15 centuries, given the fact that India's economy was the second largest in the world at the beginning of the British invasion, only slightly smaller than China, and given the fact that without the British invasion, the Indian economy would have gained an additional $45 trillion over time. We all know what the conclusion should be. If
they would be ruling the world as the superpower of the entire world. I'm pretty sure of that. And China wouldn't be as big as they are, because we all know the British sold out to China. Many countries have sold out to China. A lot of politicians in the United States have sold out to China. And India would definitely be on top without a shadow of a doubt. And China would be much, much lower. And the world would be a much better place, in my opinion. Because I do not like the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. They are garbage.
India never was a colony. India most likely would have been the largest economy in the world today. And its citizens would have had much higher incomes than in the current situation.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, India was colonized, but since its independence, India has been rising, and today India's economy is the 5th largest in the world. As it seems, it's only a matter of time
Absolutely.
before India's economy will be the largest in the world again. It may take a few decades, but it's bound to happen. And since India has such a huge young population,
Yeah.
most of you who are watching this video now
Get to
will be
experience it.
alive when that day arrives.
Boom. Valid point.
But hey, who am I? I'm the European.
You're an awesome dude. That's an awesome video. I think it's over.
And
Let's
I
see.
thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.
Yeah, that was awesome. He put things in perspective where things should be, but unfortunately, throughout history, if you have a lot and you're doing good and you have riches, people are going to want to take them. And apparently, the British Railroad, whatever company, I don't really know much about it, so I'm going to have to learn about it. They did some really sneaky and evil things to hold India back. But I think, you know, like he said, a couple decades, if not sooner, India will be on top. And the young will get to experience it, and things even out over time, I think. So I like this guy. Definitely subscribe to him. If you like my reactions and thoughts, and want to learn with me about India and want to teach me about India, because you guys know where to point me, subscribe and comment all those things. Definitely comment some videos I should react to, and subscribe. Tell your buddies, share, whatever, and I'll see you next time. Peace.